this is Elaine with Elaine's Creations, and in this video I'm going to show you how to make this cute flower pot card with a Pansy Patch bundle. So this cute flower pot card pulls out like this, and then you can stamp a little sentiment or write a little message inside. Here is the Pansy Patch bundle. This is the Pansy Patch stamp set. Gosh, the alliteration is hard sometimes. It has all these fun pansy stamps that are distinctive, so they have the highlights and the shadows in them, and then sentiments. The dies are amazing because not only do they cut out the pansies, but there are also dies to create your own pansy that have this texture in them that are super cool. Also in this suite, it's called the Pansy Petals suite. You have the Pansy Petals Designer Series paper. And the fun thing about this paper is that the dies cut out the paper. So the dies cut out these leaves. So this smaller leaf here, and then this larger leaf right there. And they also cut out the pansies. So you've got the smaller pansy that this cuts out and the larger pansy that this die cuts out. So it's really fun when they coordinate the dies in the paper so that you can cut out the flowers and items from the paper. And I love all these plaids, really cute plaids, and all of the cute colors, the fresh freesia, the pale papaya, a lot of the in colors. And then last but not least, you have these fun bumblebee trinkets. Really, really cute. And I'm going to be using them on another card, so make sure you check out that video as well. So to create this card, I'm just going to pull this out so you can see both. I am going to start with a piece of, and I created a template, and this is 8.5 long by 4 inches wide, and I've scored it at 3.5 and 7. So here's my piece right here. And then I've used the scalloped contour dies to cut this edge right here because I think it's so cute when you fold it down. It looks like a little edge of a flower pot. And then I'm just going to trim these little tiny excess pieces to kind of finish it off because it just barely fits, and so there's just a little bit of something sticking out there, so I just want to trim that. Next, I'm going to fold it in half like this, and then just fold this piece down, and I'm going to measure, if I can find my, I'm always losing my measuring. I'm going to measure 1/2 inch in from the side and just make a little mark right there on both sides. So 1/2 inch in on both sides. And then I'm going to use my paper trimmer to trim from this score line down to here. And I'm going to cut both sides. So let me grab my paper trimmer. So I'm going to place the top here right in the track, and then I'm going to place my mark in the track too. So mark and top here. And I'm just going to cut that little piece off. And then I'm going to do the same thing on the other side. So I've got my mark there, and I've got my score line up here. Just fold that down and cut that off. So it looks more like a flower pot with the edges coming in. Now I have cut a piece of the Pansy petal paper, and I'm going to trim this paper the same way. I'm going to measure 1/2 inch in and do that. Whoops, that's centimeters. I want inches. So 1/2 inch in on both sides. on my designer series paper as well. And I'm going to cut that using the trimmer as well so that I can have that match. So I'm just going to put the point of the corner in there and my mark and just cut that. And then I'm going to do the same thing on the other side. And I forgot to give you the measurement of this piece, so I will do that. Make sure the point is right in there. So this piece is 3 7/8 by 3 3/8. So it's just barely going to fit in here. And why is mine not looking correct? It is not looking correct at all. Did I measure incorrectly? I'm pretty sure it's supposed to be 1/2 inch in, and that would be 1/2 inch there. So I did cut 1/2 inch. So let's take a look at this one. It looks like 1/2 inch there too. So I'm not sure what I did, but I did something strange because this is not looking correct at all. The angle is looking strange. I'm not exactly sure why. Oh, I know why. Because I needed to bring it in by 1/4 inch, I think. So that's my problem. So you're doing 1/2 inch on the bottom, and then you're doing 1/4 inch on the top. So here's 1/4 inch. So I gotta retrim that to get the angle correct. Or did I do 1/8? It looks like I did 1/8. So let's do 1/8. Because usually I like the tight fit. So this is going to be interesting. This is going to be a very, very slight cut. So do 1/8 at the top and 1/2 inch at the bottom. That should be a better angle. I think I want this to come down. Okay, so I think this should work. Okay, that looks better. Yes. Okay, so now I can adhere this to the front with just some Stampin' Seal. And then I am going to also adhere, am I going to? Yes, I'm going to just adhere this down by putting a line of Stampin' Seal on this piece right here too. Now for the inside, I'm just going to use this right here. We want to place some adhesive, some thin adhesive right along the edges here, or maybe some glue, so that it's really nice and thin, so that we can stick our card in there without having any interference from the sides, because it gets kind of narrow down there. So I recommend either using glue, but I prefer using the thin red liner tape. I think it's the best to use in this situation, and it just is going to be strong, and it's not going to bleed anywhere like liquid glue, and it's going to work very nicely. So I'm just going to put it on the very, very edge of my pot. And then I'm going to trim that off. And then I'll do the other side. I love making these flower pot cards. They are so cute. Everybody loves them and loves receiving them. They're so fun. And it's fun to do different kinds of flowers on them. So now I'm just gonna peel off the back of the liner. And then we will make the card part. So this is the pot. I'm just gonna seal that up. So there's the pot ready to go. And then for the card part, I have a piece of, let's see, this is 4 3/4 by 2 3/4 fresh freesia. And then we've got 4 5/8 by 2 5/8 basic white. And I'm going to stamp our sentiment with soft succulent, and it's the little things you do make such a difference. I think it goes really nicely with the thank you. So just put that right on here. And I'm just gonna, sorry, I've got cat hair everywhere. I think my cat was on my desk. Okay, the little things you do make such a difference, a big difference. And then I have cut this out with the Tasteful Labels dies. I really love those dies and all the different labels. So, oh, I did that one in fresh freesia. So switch, and let me clean this off. Whoops. Cleaned a little bit too hard. Okay, fresh freesia. Sorry if my head got in the way, just trying to see to make sure I get that on there. All right, so now I can adhere the basic white to my fresh freesia layer. And I use dimensionals for the thank you. So I'll just use some mini dimensionals for that. And put it down here, thank you. And then for our card. So I'm gonna place the card inside so I know kind of where to start the flowers, so that I'm not starting them too low. And I've cut out a whole bunch of flowers from the DSP. So I'm just gonna line up my flowers here. And I need to grab some leaves, it looks like too. So I need to go grab some leaves. And I'm gonna use dimensionals. So I've got mini dimensionals and regular dimensionals, kind of, sort of. Maybe I'll use this sheet. And I'm gonna start with these two, and they're gonna hang over a little bit. So I'm gonna put the dimensionals on the top of the pansies. They're gonna go in the middle, but they're gonna hang over a little bit here like this. But I'm gonna leave some room up here so that I can attach my larger pansies. This one's gonna go over here. And now for the larger pansies, I'm gonna put the dimensionals on the bottom. And this one is on the bottom corner. And then let's look for a new sheet of dimensionals. And I am out. So we are going to use a corner of this. Whoops. I'm trying to not cut my release paper because I like to save it and use it. Wow, that's too big. just a little piece, and this one is going to go in the corner too, right there. So we'll start with the middle one, and then it'll tuck under here a little bit, and then we'll do this one, and we'll tuck this one under here a little bit, and then this one on the left we will tuck under here a little bit so that these pansies are all nice and close together. So now for the leaves, I'm going to use glue dots, and I've also got the Fresh Freesia ribbon that I'm going to tie around the pot. So I'm just going to measure out my ribbon, and I'm going to do a bow, so I'm going to use a lot of ribbon here. So I'm just going to measure that out and then tie a nice bow around my pot. And a couple of secrets when tying a bow around something is, you probably already know, it's easier if you tie a knot first. So go ahead and tie your knot first. And then, I don't know why this works for me, but I tie my bow upside down. I do 2 bunny ears. And then I tie a knot with the bunny ears. And that seems to work pretty well every time. And there's my nice bow. Looks like I need to just trim it a little bit. Okay, and now we just need some leaves. So let me put this back in here, grab some leaves. Actually, I'm going to leave it out so you can see both. So I cut out all these different leaves from the designer paper, and even the ones that are like cut off, I used, because look, you can just tuck it under the pansy and you can't even tell that it was cut, right? So I'm going to use this one. I'm just going to grab a glue dot, put that on there, and I'm just going to stick it right up in here, and you can't even tell that it's cut off because I wanted to use all my little pieces. And then this one I'm just going to put right here, and you can't even tell that it's cut off. I mean, if you use the whole one, you're, you know, putting it in all the way anyway, and it's not even showing. So I put a glue dot on that, and I'm going to raise it up a little. Now I'll put it down here, right there. So that's our other one. And then which one should I use? I kind of did that one upside down. I don't think I like that. Should I use one of these? Soft succulent. No, I'm going to stay with the evening evergreen one. So I'm going to do this one down here. Get a glue dot and just place that down there with the glue dot. All right, so that is our flower pot card. Isn't that cute? Oh my gosh, it is so cute. So I am offering a free card kit when you purchase the Pansy Petal bundle, and it consists of this flower pot card, this expanding card that opens like this, and this fold and tuck card. So it opens like this, so you fold it back up, and then you tuck it underneath here, and it's got the little honeybee. So go to my website, use the May Hostess code. This is the last week to use it. And when you purchase the Pansy Patch, I keep getting it mixed up between the paper, Pansy Patch, and then this is the Pansy Petal. Pansy Patch bundle, just email me and let me know that you would like the card kit that goes with it for free, and I will send it right out to you. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel and check out my other Pansy Patch videos. I'll see you next time. Bye.